Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Tea with Teja Priyadarshini. With me, I have my dear friend and colleague, Gita, all the way from Germany, and she is a hypnotherapist. She's also a quantum healing hypnotherapy practitioner, just like me. And she's also a yoga teacher, a musician, a wonderful divine singer, and also she works with transcendental sounds and frequencies to help people alleviate whatever issues they may have with them. So welcome to the show, Gita. So nice to have you.
Thank you, Teja. So nice to see you.
It's been such a long time since we connected, and a lot has changed, I'm sure, since the last 2 years since we spoke. So tell me about you, like what is happening in the world of sound?
Yeah. Thank you for asking me this, because it's really amazing and important, and one has to know about the power of sounds, because especially the last 2 years when we were in lockdown, I could not work with the people as I used to work before. Like usually we used to meet and we used to sing, and we used to sing special sounds with special rhythms and in a group with quite a few people. And then it suddenly stopped, and then I got tons of emails saying, please, when can we go on singing again? And I always said, guys, I don't know. I think it's dangerous at the moment. We should not sit in a room all together and breathe and sing too much, because it's going to be dangerous. So I could really feel that for many people, it was the only way they could quiet their mind in their daily lives. Most of those people were like deeply traumatized, or sometimes also depressed, and like having issues, and which they could not solve just by psychotherapy or any other kind of therapy. And so they just came for their meditation, and it worked so good. And I really feel that it has to be done all over the world, additionally to all these other beautiful techniques that there are, like the hypnotherapy and the meditational techniques. But there should be also a lot of singing and sound healing in the world. Yes, and breathing.
What is transcendental sound and frequency, for those who don't know what it means?
Maybe one has to first understand that the universe we are perceiving as material world is created out of vibrations. So we are vibrating, our heart is making, it's pumping, it's pulsing, it's making a vibration, it's making a rhythm. The brain is making rhythms and waves, and so we create a field of vibration. You could say we create a music or a kind of sound by just being in our bodies and existing. And so everything in the world does create a vibration. You could say everyone has frequencies or special frequencies, and depending on how low or how high you vibrate, your magnetic energy field becomes much bigger.
Wow.
And then you are also quite protected. That's very interesting to know, when your vibration is strong, because your heart and your brain is strong, and they are good connected and they are coherent, which means that they are working in an orderly way together. Then your magnetic field gets much bigger. Also very physically. Also, you can really say, I would really say it is a protection also regarding the immune system and how your body functions do work.
So when you say transcendental sound frequencies, does it mean that these frequencies take us to higher vibrations by, say, chanting something, or like by listening to a certain sound? Would that allow us to increase our own frequencies?
Exactly, that's what it means. I mean, it means like bringing yourself or your being to some other kind of vibration. You could say it's higher, you could also say it's faster, but it's transcendent. It's different from the usual vibration we have when we are busy in our daily lives. So that's wonderful. How it works, actually.
So how did you come into this? Like, I know you as a practitioner of hypnotherapy, and we've been in classes together. But how did you come across sound and frequencies, and what made you get onto that path of working with sound and frequencies?
I studied classical piano, and I was about to become a classical concert pianist. So that used to be my path. And then I somehow found that this was very limiting in regards to my awareness or my, and also in regard to my spiritual path, because it was lots of pressure. And then I thought it has to be, if I go on playing music, then this music has to be some kind of higher frequency music. It has to be connected to something bigger than the normal way of making music. So I was deeply drawn to this because I wanted to go deeper also into the spiritual realms and into the spiritual world. So I transcended the way of playing music and made it like I wanted to make it something which in India is quite something very ancient, like to have music only for purposes of meditation and also to reach out to some divinity or some divine energy or something like that. Yeah.
You've been doing this for like 20 years, right? I mean, it's been a while that you've been on this spiritual path. And what did you feel like? How does it work on people? The music, the frequencies that you use. What are the benefits that people can get out of it?
Emotionally, you can say it stabilizes. If you work with frequency and sound, it means that emotionally, also through the breathing, but also through the vibration that is working on your body, on and in your body, you can release a lot of blocked emotions in the body, blocked emotions in the heart, in the belly area, or also in the brain. So you find it very relieving. Many people start crying when they do this, because they breathe a lot deeper. And because also they sometimes might be touched, this vibration feels like if you are deeply touched from the inside.
Wow.
But there are also chemical things that are happening. Because you change the way your body is vibrating, usually also the body chemistry is changing. So you have a different kind of hormones like in meditation, You get a lot more of oxytocin and much less cholesterol, much less stress hormones. The brain gets used to a different kind of vibration. So the whole body starts to change. And this is really amazing for the people, because they experience this as some kind of relief and also silence as if they, for the first time, sometimes they can really say, oh my God, I could not think for about 30 minutes. And this never happened to me before. They say, how can this be? My mind stopped talking. And this is because of the chemistry changing in the body by making sounds themselves and also listening to sounds.
Wow.
Special sounds.
And I know that we are offering a taster workshop on Monday, 21st of March at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And all you need to do is comment below, and I'll tell you what you need to comment at the end of the video. But right now, let's just go in a little more into the transcendental sound and frequencies. And I want to ask you, has there been like an experience with a client or somebody who, a story that you can't forget, like, some experience that has really made you feel like, wow, this is the power of sound?
Yes, many. One story that really touched me deeply, there was a woman, she used to come for singing, and she had been through every kind of therapy you can imagine. She had been through, she had even been in a psychotherapy, in a clinic, and she had taken medicine, and she was feeling very hopeless. And, very dark. And she came to me and she was crying. We had done a 2-hour singing session where we were repeating rhythmical structural sounds, also a little bit of mantras, a little bit of special sound frequencies. And she was saying, I'm so grateful, Gita, I've never felt such a relief before in my life. She was crying. She's saying that's amazing. And why don't we do this every day? Why can't we do this every day? Because it's the only thing that seems to help me.
So something has been from her during that session.
Yes. And I see a lot of people crying, really deeply crying. And sometimes people, when you think they will be bored doing this for such a long time, because we sometimes repeat some part of sound all the time, over and over. And I tell them, please, the mind will be bored. That's how it has to be. Suppose we want to get your mind to sleep. It's a little bit like hypnosis. We want the mind to go to bed and relax, and then we want your body to relax and to feel better. And even people that were really, very much somehow contradictory and, trying to oppose, even those men, many times was men, they said, oh, it's not for me. Even them were like, oh my God, what was this? You were right. After half an hour, I could feel like my body was getting lighter. And
so I'm sure we're going to experience something like that in the workshop as well on the 21st. But tell me something, like you said that you use a lot of mantras as well to, create that sound frequency and vibration in the body. Coming from India, I know for a fact how loosely people use mantras here and they don't really know the power of it. Can you expand on that? Because most people could easily use a mantra to chant and get into that state of higher vibration, but they don't, because they feel, this is not going to work for me. Why is that? Why do people reject mantras?
Exactly. I found that too. It's so interesting that it's your heritage and you do it maybe so often, so it has become somehow profane. But the people here in the West, sometimes I tell them just use it as a medicine. You don't even have to know. I tell them what it means, but I tell them it's even, you could just look at it as if it would be like science. It's the science of using sound waves. So the mantras are, if you take them just by the sound, not by the meaning, they are frequency. They are just some kind of structure, sound structure. And depending on what sound they are, like ga or ka, or like say something very typical like ma, ba, you use the lips. It's very different when you use the lips from using the back of the mouth, ka, and even if you don't make a proper mantra, if you just make a sound, ka, for example, this will have an effect on you, on your body, and on the environment.
Wow.
You have to feel it. It's not about only the meaning is important, and you should know about the story. You should probably also know about the deity if you're singing for a special. If you sing for Shiva, for example, you should know something about Shiva. But I tell people it's not only because it's interesting. Some people here were brought up with Christian religion. And they say, "Oh my God, will God be, will it be a sin if I sing for Shiva, or if it, because it's not our religion, we should sing for Jesus." And I said, "Why? Because Jesus is a sound frequency. It's also it's called Issa, which is quite similar to Isha. It's just a frequency. It's one name of a divine frequency, which if you cannot relate to someone, if you cannot relate to someone, some divine being, you relate to it as some divine frequency with some quality in it, like something that can bring you power, something that can bring you joy, or something that can bring you destruction. And if you just produce the sounds very consciously and with lots of joy and even fun, like a child does. When a child starts talking, it's it doesn't mean something, but it has a lot of frequency in it. Then your body starts, it's as if you push buttons from the organs and from in your physical system, but also in your energetic system. You push buttons, and that's a different approach. Especially Indians that have this ability to utter the sounds much more easily, because the language itself is very frequent. But if you use it even more consciously, you can make your everyday talk, you can make it like a massage for your physical body. And also you can move energy much, much better to other people. You can express love much better.
Can we try something today? Like, can we try a musical note or a sound that, people can hear?
Yes, we should try something. I brought my tuning fork, like this here, and it has some frequency on it, which is supposed to be Om, but this is something people discuss. If it's really Om, we don't know. If you hear inner transcendental sounds, that's usually something you cannot describe by a tuning fork. But what we should try is try to bring your body to resonate. Okay. And one very nice thing is to resonate inside and to feel it, that something inside of you is starting to vibrate, is making a sound So you do the sound ah by just opening the mouth and relaxing the tongue. Just do the sound ah. Open the mouth more. Ah. So, yes, exactly. So something the most easy sound is the sound ah. Therefore, it's related to the highest form of creation, ah, because you don't have to use any tongues or nothing much. So it's quite easy to vibrate. So, but if you think the sound ah, but close your lips, and so it looks funny, but it's really interesting to do just to make an ah with closed lips. And it should, if you touch your cheeks, it should vibrate here. Yeah, it does. Yeah, exactly. So if you just can you hear the sound?
Yeah.
We can just do it together. We just take this frequency and you close your lips. Maybe you close your eyes also. We do the sound. Yes, exactly. And when you do this, you should start feeling it. You start feeling it. Should start feeling it here. You start feeling it here, and also here. So the whole body should start feeling it in some way, and some kind of vibration that is moving the body from the inside.
Wow. Yeah.
Or what we could also do, we could take the sound on the piano. I'm sitting on my piano. We could take the same sound and just move it from this sound up and down. Do it one more time.
Wow, that's a long...
It's a long sound. What happens, what we will do on Monday, and you should all come and watch this because it's very important for the breathing also. What one has to relearn, most of us, is to really just take a very slow and not so big breath in through the nose, and then try to hold the sound for some time, which is somehow like a very natural pranayama, which means you will prolong the out breath, you will have vibration in the head and in the body, and you will have I will explain that on Monday. What happens in the brain if you do that.
Wow, that's amazing. Even just doing this simply without even knowing the technique properly, I could feel the vibration in my chest and going down my hands. So if I probably did it, more accurately, I would feel it going through my entire body. That's amazing. Exactly. So can people do this like online as well? Like, do they have to be there with you in person?
What we did now during lockdown, we just did we did online concerts, like healing concerts, where they can just jump into YouTube and just join for free. Wow. I mean, we're happy if they donate, but I've thought this is something that people should be able to join. And yes, but we have not done it for some time, but we're probably going to do it in March or April.
That's amazing. And what about if people want to get in touch with you? Do they need to like be a certain way? Like, is there a criteria for people to try something like this out? I mean, some people have, high blood pressure and things like that, and the breathing can probably kind of increase the blood pressure. Is there something like that people need to keep in mind before they try sound therapy?
Oh, that's so interesting that you say that, because the blood pressure is going down. I'm going to explain that, because the blood pressure, if you prolong the out breath and like if you reduce the in breath, that is what's reducing the blood pressure. So this is very helpful to reduce stress and high blood pressure. And only thing that one has to know or wish if you do this kind of work is that you have to really should want to experience your voice and the sound of your body. This is something, because most people are shy.
Yes, I was finding it a little difficult to open my mouth up fully to say
exactly. Because we are told we are told to close the mouth, we are told to not talk too loud. Probably in India a little less, I hope. In Greece, you're right.
Not really.
We're very told to be moderate, especially women. Don't talk too loud, don't laugh so loud, don't open your mouth, because my mother said flies will fly in your mouth. I mean, and this is the only thing. You just have to be a little bit, have to have a little courage to not fear listening to your own voice. Because your voice is your biggest and the most powerful tool you have. It's how you express your truth. It's how you connect to other people.
That's amazing. So if people were to reach you for a one-on-one session, could they do that as well?
Yes, if they want to do one-on-one sessions, they can book a session, sure.
So all the details of Gita would be in the description below if you want to book a session with her. And I will link up all her contact details in the description box. So for those of you who want to join the workshop with us on Monday, the 21st at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, all you need to do is comment below what you would like to shift or change in your life. Just as simple as that. Just comment below what you would like to shift and change in your life. And we will choose you for the workshop on Monday, which is a free workshop, and it starts at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much, Gita, for coming on the show and for this beautiful experience. I can still feel the vibration in my heart. It's so beautiful. It's making me feel like I'm here, but I'm not here at the same time. So it's amazing, and I can't wait to experience your workshop and to fully get in touch with my voice and to be able to express it in a much more better fashion. Thank you so much for coming on the Spiritual Tea Show, and I hope to see you soon.
Teja, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving the world so much light by your presence and by your strength and by your knowledge and everything you do. That's very beautiful.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Teja.
Thank you.
See you soon. See you all on Monday, guys.
See you. So I'll see you guys again in another episode of Spiritual Tea. Until then, bye-bye.